We are back in with our Ableton Live recording process with screen capture, multiple external sources, Midi controller, and sampling ability from the desktop in a workaround. So we're going to take a look at that, make sure we have it documented for our own future use. So let's start with our channels. We have Maschine here, which is just a Native Instruments Maschine Midi controller. We've got that routed and a kit loaded so we can hear that. If we take a look at the group, I just have the Maschine device set up like this. I have a Maschine MIDI channel that enables us to capture the MIDI from the Maschine. You kind of have to route that, so you need to look at these MIDI from, Maschine device, Maschine 2, auto, Maschine device, track in, this enabled. Let's take a look at the device just to double check, make sure that we have everything routed a particular way in here. If we look at our different sections, there's a MIDI section somewhere in here. Click this guy, MIDI. So we've got MIDI default, channel 1, that marked like that. Output, we've got host, 1, this stuff loaded. I routed this some time ago, so I don't know exactly, but this is what's in place right now, and it makes it work. So we can hear that and capture the MIDI, and then we'll also have a audio track from that, so we can capture the audio. So that's the first part of this setup. Capture the audio MIDI from a Maschine controller. We'll go through real fast and just show that it captures all of those. So we'll hit record and hit some notes. Okay, and you see those notes have been recorded onto the track. We can hit playback on those. Okay, and so that should have played back. We did what we wanted there. We're also going to capture flat audio in case we need it. So we take a look at this track. We go. Okay, so we captured that, and we're going to take a look at it again, make sure we got good audio. Okay, and we have that as well. All right, our next input is our mic channel. We've got that external in 1 and 2, which is just a condenser mic XLR to XLR into a Mode 2 ultralight interface. We've got that routed through 1 and 2, auto enabled on the monitor. We've got record enabled in Ableton, and that should capture audio fine. We'll do a quick test of that. Hello, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and so we'll stop that guy. Hello, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we should have heard that recording. We'll move on to our next source, external source 0, which is just a Nintendo DS routed 1/8 inch into 1/4 inch TRS into input 3 and 4 on the Mode 2 ultralight interface. Again, record enabled, monitor on, and we'll play a sound from that. Okay, so we should have heard that. Then we'll move on to our next external audio in source, which is 1, and that is an iPhone routed just 1/8 inch to 1/8 inch with a 1/4 inch adapter plugged into input 5 on the ultralight interface. So we should hear that now. Okay, so we should have heard that. The next track we have set up is an Ableton record track, which is what we're queuing from. That way I can hear everything that's going on in Ableton Live. And this track enables us to capture all of the audio flat from Ableton Live. So we can see my input of my voice, but we should also see our external sources in this channel. And if we hit record here, we'll capture everything. Our next channel is a sample channel, so we have this set up just so we can play various samples and loops. Okay, so we should have heard that sample. And then we have one more track set up as our recorder track, and that's so we can sample from the desktop various games or applications or internet sites, or just to create external audio from that. It's the easiest approach for me because I don't have a loopback feature, and so I just record the sample and then I import it as a wave. So we'll go through that now to show that process. I just open Total Recorder, which is an excellent app. I recommend it. And we'll open our browser and we'll hit record on this, and we'll hit play on our external source. Okay, and then we'll stop that record. We'll save it to our desktop. Oh, we didn't hit stop. And we will save it to our desktop as a sample. And we will minimize this, and we will minimize this. And then we will go to our desktop. And here's our sample. And we will import it there. Okay, and so as you see, that's our quick sample process for capturing audio and importing the sample into Ableton Live. That's the basic setup. It gives us all of our inputs and various things we would like to play with while recording. If we look to our audio interface settings next, we have our Q out set to 13 and 14, our master out to 1 and 2. If we look at our Windows setting, we have our Motu phones as that at 100%, so it sends the clearest, loudest audio. We're also using the screen capture software, which is Nvidia Geforce ShadowPlay. So we'll take a look at that through our overlay, which is Alt-Z to open. We've got our mic enabled, and we go to our cog, sprocket, whatever that is, and we hit our audio, and we are set to Motu return 1 and 2. So hopefully we captured all the audio from Ableton Live. We also have our main audio interface settings through the Motu audio console. That won't open usually with software running, but it's set in a similar way, main out, and phones through that routing. Other than that, I think that's, the main process here. I think we've shown all the examples of recording into things, and yeah, that should work for any kind of tutorial, live performance, and or just recording a live kind of setup, mixing, kind of sampling, and loop playback and input recording. You could sub out any device from those external inputs, and yeah, that's good. So hopefully this helped and kind of showed a process of screen capture and recording in Ableton Live all at the same time. Okay, all the best. Bye.